Victories of the Day, April 1st.
1. 1867, the International Exposition's internal combustion debut, mechanical engineering. On April 1, 1867, the International Exposition in Paris opened, featuring the first public demonstration of the Otto-Langen atmospheric engine. Before 1867, power meant steam, engines were massive, required coal-fired boilers, and took hours to start, making them impractical for small workshops. The system utilized a free piston design where a gas explosion pushed a piston upward, and the cooling of the gases created a vacuum that pulled it back down to do work. This shifted power generation toward internal combustion, proving that fuel could be burned directly inside the cylinder for much higher efficiency. This achievement provided the proof of concept for the four-stroke engine, which would eventually replace the steam engine and power the first automobiles. 2. 1891, the establishment of the Wrigley Company, industrial engineering. On April 1, 1891, the company that would standardize the Chicle-based polymer for chewing gum was founded, moving the product into a mass-produced commodity. Prior to the late 19th century, gum was often made from paraffin wax or spruce resin, which had inconsistent textures and poor flavor retention. The system utilized steam-heated mixers to blend chicle, a natural latex, with sweeteners and essential oils, creating a stable elastic matrix. This shifted food engineering toward textural standardization, proving that industrial chemistry could create repeatable mouthfeel in consumer products. This work pioneered the use of aluminum foil packaging to prevent moisture loss, a technique still used across the pharmaceutical and food industries today. 3. 1948, the publication of the Alpher-Bethe-Gamow paper, Cosmology. On April 1, 1948, a landmark paper was published in Physical Review outlining Big Bang nucleosynthesis, how atoms were formed in the early universe. Prior to 1948, scientists could not explain why the universe was mostly hydrogen and helium. There was no mathematical model for atomic creation from the Big Bang's heat. The system utilized quantum thermodynamics to calculate the cooling rate of the early universe, proving that most helium was created in the first few minutes of existence. This shifted theoretical physics toward evolutionary models, providing the first solid mathematical proof for an expanding, hot universe. This achievement correctly predicted the cosmic microwave background radiation, the afterglow of the Big Bang discovered by researchers decades later. 4. 1954, the completion of the first Fortran specification, software engineering. On April 1, 1954, the first draft of the Fortran, formula translation, manual was finalized, the world's first high-level programming language. Prior to 1954, programmers wrote in assembly language, a tedious process of manual binary-level instructions prone to extreme human error. The system utilized a compiler, which automatically translated mathematical formulas written in English-like text into the machine code the hardware understood. This shifted computation toward abstraction, proving that scientists could program computers using math rather than physical hardware wiring. Fortran remains the standard for supercomputing and weather modeling today. It established the compiler architecture used by nearly every modern language. 5. 1960, the launch of Tiros1, meteorology/space science. On April 1, 1960, NASA launched Tiros1, the world's first successful dedicated weather satellite. Before 1960, weather forecasting was limited to ground-based observations. Meteorologists had no way to see storm systems on a planetary scale. The system utilized 2 television cameras and magnetic tape recorders to capture and transmit black and white images of Earth's cloud cover. This shifted atmospheric science from local estimation to orbital surveillance, proving that satellite data could provide early warnings for hurricanes. This achievement is the direct ancestor of all modern climate monitoring systems, proving space was the ultimate high ground for protecting Earth. 6. 1976, the formation of Apple Computer, Information Technology. On April 1, 1976, Apple Computer was formed, a milestone in the transition from mainframe computing to the personal computer era. Prior to 1976, computers were massive, expensive machines owned by corporations. The idea of an individual owning one was considered a hobbyist's dream. The system utilized the MOS 6502 microprocessor, which was significantly cheaper than contemporary chips, allowing for a simplified single-board architecture. This shifted computer architecture toward user-centric design, proving that high-level computation could be packaged into a consumer-friendly form factor. This achievement catalyzed the home computing revolution, leading directly to the graphical user interfaces and portable devices that define modern life. 1997, the Comet Hale-Bopp perihelion data, astrophysics. On April 1, 1997, Comet Hale-Bopp reached its perihelion, allowing for the most detailed spectral analysis of a great comet in history. Prior to 1997, the chemical composition of long-period comets was largely theoretical. Scientists lacked high-resolution data on rare isotopes in cometary tails. The system utilized submillimeter spectroscopy to detect heavy water and organic molecules, providing a chemical fingerprint of the early solar system. This shifted cosmochemistry toward the cometary delivery theory, proving that comets carry the building blocks, water and organics, necessary for life. This data remains a primary reference for astrobiology, helping us understand how primitive materials were distributed 4.5 billion years ago. 2004, the launch of Gmail, data engineering/UI design. On April 1, 2004, Gmail was launched, introducing the AJAX, asynchronous JavaScript and XML, architecture to the general public. Prior to 2004, web-based email was slow and required a full-page reload for every action, making it feel inferior to desktop software. The system utilized asynchronous data transfer, allowing the web page to communicate with the server in the background without interrupting the user's interface. This shifted software engineering toward web applications, proving that complex, high-performance software could live entirely inside a web browser. This was the foundation of the cloud computing era. It changed how humans store and search massive quantities of personal data in real time. 9. Scientist of the Day, Gordon Moore, 1929 to 2023. Gordon Moore is the dedicatee for April 1 for his mastery of semiconductor scaling. He realized that the complexity of digital systems would grow exponentially. Before his work, the integrated circuit was seen as a static invention. He proved it was a dynamic growth curve, predicting that transistor counts would double every 2 years. The system he pioneered, Moore's Law, became the strategic roadmap for the global technology industry, driving the miniaturization of every modern device. His legacy is the digital transformation of society. He provided the technical vision that made the smartphone, the internet, and modern AI possible.
Victories of the day, April 1st.